Stop complaining and start celebrating life. This is something I tell myself quite often. And I'm going to talk through some ways to get out that funk, where if you, like me, often go to complain about life. So, first of all, I want to say about these 3 C's that I've heard that cause us suffering: complaining, criticising, and comparing. So out of those 3 things, would you say you do one more than the other? A couple of them, or all 3 of them quite often? Complain, criticise, and compare. I would say for me, I don't compare that much, but I criticise myself a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily criticise. Yeah, okay, I'll be honest. I probably criticise other people as well, like hubby and family a bit. Complain would be my biggie. I can often get into complain mode, victim mode. And I just wanted to talk about that today, because I'm sure I'm not the only one. Not when we're really being honest with ourselves, when we're really being mindful, are we complaining? So, I'll give an example of this right now that I'm working on. I'm walking along this beach in Hoi An in Vietnam, and what's to complain about, right? Look at this. Beautiful. But sometimes when things aren't going 100% our way, we can get into complaining mode. So for us here, we're full-time travelling as a family. We've listened to people, we've took people's advice and our own instincts. You know, I'm not blaming here. But one of the things is our accommodation. So we got here and we had a week in a homestay. And in that week, we give us a week to find a 3-month rental, because it's cheaper, because that's what other people have done. They've got their accommodation a lot cheaper than if you have a month's rent, a month's stay on Airbnb. So we give ourselves that week. And in 2 days left of that week, we still didn't find anything. We'd been in touch with estate agents and they weren't getting back to us. So we put our deposit down on another homestay for a month, but again, the location wasn't right. The first location was great for that first week, right here on the beach. And so we put our deposit down for another homestay, thinking, well, we'll just have to do that for a month and hopefully the last 2 months we can get somewhere. The very next day, one of the agents gets back to us and says you can come and view this place. So we went to go and look. There was someone else looking. Now, was that planted? Who knows? I've realised since that is something that happens. They'll bring someone along at the same time as you're viewing to make you feel rushed. So we looked around this place, no one being in it. It's a new build. It's a very wooden house, inside and out. Very nice, 2-bedroom, but lots of living space. But there's no aircon in the living room, just the stand fans. But there is aircon in the bedrooms, but the one in our bedroom, you can barely feel it because it's so wooden. The girls' bedrooms, it's freezing in there because it's all sealed and it's tiled and things. So there's that. The other thing is there's lots of critters getting in because it's wooden, because it's got gaps. Sort of the roof is like a corrugated plastic. And I watched one last night. I watched this cockroach climb up this plastic corrugated roof and then sort of half drop, half fly into down into our kitchen. So it's like an open hallway. And I was like, oh, and I know I've got to get used to the cockroaches. I get that. But the other night I got up, walked across around the bed, didn't put the light on, and I stood on one. So the biggest thing though about this accommodation, it can be nitpicky. That is nitpicking stuff, I know it. But the biggest thing about this accommodation is it just really isn't in the right location. And we're not ready to get a scooter. We were considering bikes, but It's getting hotter and hotter here in Vietnam now. We're only in the end of May and we're here till middle of July. And this week, I've just looked at the weather this morning and we're clocking up to 37 degrees next Tuesday. So, do I really want to be on a pedal bike? I'm not so sure. So, and this is it, you know, because of the location. If you'd seen my videos before, you'll have seen in Langkawi, there wasn't much there in regards to world schooling groups. So I complained about that. But there was a 15-minute walk to a lovely park and a lovely beach where I went every day and I did these videos. And I loved it and I really miss that, you know, I miss that getting out in nature and me time. Now you can get grabs are cheap. You can also get a grab bike. I don't think I've ever been on a bike, or if I have, maybe on the back of my brother's bike for like a little jaunt around the block and back, so I don't really remember it. So I've never really been on a bike. So I really want to do it in a foreign country on the back of somebody I don't know. I don't know, it just feels a bit weird. So I found myself in this complaining feel mode lately, and it's not nice, you know. When I complain so much that it does my own head in, I usually do something about it. I'm not someone that will constantly complain about something, yeah? So I'm finding now I'm in that zone of just shut up and get on with it, you know. We've decided to back out of this now, you know. We're in this house for 3 months and we've paid up front and we've put a deposit down. It would just be too silly really and expensive to back out of this now. So that's it in a nutshell. I'm not sleeping because I'm scared I'm going to stand on cockroaches or they're going to land on me in the middle of the night. So I'm hardly sleeping, but I've just got to get on and bear it, you know. Stiff upper lip, Carrie. Keep calm and carry on, just do it. And when in the grand scheme of things, you know, I've got this. So that's the key. I think when we complain, it's to look for the beauty in life. And this is it, you know, this is gorgeous. So do I have to get a grab down here every day, every other day to make me feel better, to celebrate the wins, you know? That's what it is, you know, what can we celebrate instead of complaining about life? And okay, you might have a lot more complaints to the wins that I've got here with the likes of this, but you'll find something. There's got to be something in your life to celebrate. It's like that phrase where your attention goes where energy flows. So where do you want your attention to be? Where do you want the energy to flow? Be mindful of that. Come away from the complaining and really start living in the beauty, the pleasant, because it's always there amongst the opposite, the unpleasant. As regards to the other two, sort of criticising and what was the other one? Criticise and compare. Again, similarly, you know, do you criticise yourself? Are you your worst critic, your inner critic voice constantly saying you're not doing enough, you're not good enough? And do you pass that on to your husband? Are you constantly complaining about your husband? Here's a test. When you speak to your friend about your husband, is it in a positive light? Or are you always complaining about him, criticising what he does? That's a test, really it is, to see if you criticise others. And I do believe none of us are perfect, no such thing. And I believe, you know, if we're criticising our partner all the time, we need to just have a little look at that and start talking to our friends in a positive way about our husbands. You know, what have they done well? Comparing steals our essence, really, you know. Comparing others, they've got a different way, they've got a different path, they're on a different mission to us. You can be inspired by people, sure. You inspire me to be the best version of me, you know. They say you surround yourself by the 5 people you surround yourself with who shape you. So If you're feeling jealous around people all the time, it's not doing you any good, is it? If you're comparing, you know, you're on your own path, you're doing your own thing. So, you know, there's no need to compare. There really isn't. Just focus on you and your family. And, you know, this is all about celebrating life, celebrating the wins. And I'm planning on doing that in my lives coming up soon. So I'm hoping to start them in June. I'm going to do a live about transitioning in travel for those people that are travelling or in transition in life, some way, shape or form. And I'm also doing a live for everybody else. Everyone else will fit into the second group because it's about life. It's about family. It's about supporting in a community while also celebrating life. And I don't think we do that enough. We don't big ourselves up, big each other up enough. We focus on complaining. So come and join us for those lives next month. I'm looking forward to them. Let me know your reflections. Do you complain, criticise and compare yourself or others? Does it bring you down? Does it feel heavy? Can we flip it and start to celebrate life? Let me know your reflections in the comments. Thanks for watching. Much love. Bye for now.